Welcome to Videoland.
Mega high! Wake up, Kid Icarus.
Welcome to Castlevania.
It's Congo Land.
Mother Brain will get you, little princess.
Princess, the palace is under siege.
Behold, the ultimate warp zone.
Kevin, I thought I told you to clean up your room.
Captain N, the Game Master.
Welcome to Retrotopia, the podcast where every episode is a ticket back to the things we loved, the things we forgot, and the things that somehow seemed better before we had to pay bills. I'm your host, Brian, and this is episode 141, and gamers. Grab your NES controllers, straighten your Leatherman jackets, and try not to get sucked into your television, because today we're headed back to one of the strangest, most ambitious, and undeniably Saturday morning creations of the late 1980s. This week, we are going to be talking about Captain and the Game Master. From the castles of Hyrule to the futuristic world of Mega Man, from the vampire-haunted halls of Castlevania to the floating landscapes of Metroid, this was a cartoon that asked one simple question: what if your favorite Nintendo games shared the same universe? We're taking a look at how an ordinary teenager named Kevin Keene became an unlikely hero of Videoland, the colorful cast of allies and villains he met along the way, and the wild creative liberties the show took on some of gaming's most iconic characters. We'll also dive into the show's history a little bit and the games it represented and the characters it introduced to an entire generation and why, despite its inaccuracies, questionable adaptations, and a Kid Icarus who just seemingly won't shut up, it still holds a special place in the heart of retro gamers. So power on the NES, keep the Game Boy close at hand, and remember, in Videoland, saving the world is just another level to beat. This is Retrotopia. Now, if you're just here to listen to the show, you can head about 30 minutes into the episode and you should get to the discussion proper. But we hope you stay because we like the intros. And of course, with the intro, we have to do the plug. So before we start, I just would like to say thanks to everybody who's rated it 5 stars and even people who've rated it 4 stars and given us constructive feedback. It's always great for us to help us grow. If you want to find us on social media, you can find us at linktree/Retrotopia, where all our links are. We have Instagram, we have X, we have Blue Sky. I think that's pretty much it. There's also a link to our Discord on there, and there's a link to our Dashery store, or you can go to retrotopia.dashery.com and you can find our merch. We have a couple of t-shirts and designs there for your enjoyment. We also have a Patreon at www.patreon.com/retrotopia, where you can join for free. And on that free tier, you get to take part in all the polls we have, which we just finished our 150th episode RPG poll, and Golden Sun won that one. You also can chat with us, the hosts. You can write in about the game of the week. You can write into the host on the 9-Bit Banter Box. You also get Quick Play, which is our short review series. And we have an extra video bonus for Retro Bites, that a show that Joe and I do together once a month. You'll also have a $2 hero tier that you can join. You get everything in the free tier, plus you get to select a game for the host to review on Quick Play. You get the After Darks, that we record before every weekly episode, and you get New Game Plus. You also get a shout out if you join the hero tier. Now, with the plugs out of the way, it's time that we give you, the audience, a chance to write into the host and what we call the 9-Bit Banter Box, which is culturally elegant. And first up, we have Fill Up My Mouth with Farts, who says, "Hi, Brian. You're on a holiday somewhere and have walked into the hotel. What genre of restaurant are you looking for a recommendation? For me, I'm asking either for Mexican or a good barbecue. I'm a meat and potato guy. My mom basically boiled all of us down, like, in the family to what type of food we eat, and my wife is, like, very Asian inspired. Can't remember what she said for my brother, but it's not the same as me, but she just called me a meat and potatoes guy. Whenever I went on business trips or vacations, the first thing I always did was I'd eat light for a couple of days just to, not blow through my food budget. And then I would go find a really good steakhouse, or the steakhouse that everybody says is the one to go to in that area. And I would go get myself a nice steak dinner. And that's what I look for. Otherwise, it's hunting wings down at a pub. God, I could fuck up a pound of wings so hard. I love wings. I eat way too many wings. I think I'm 90% wing right now. But yeah, I would go for the steakhouse while on business trips or vacations, but anytime, anywhere I am, a pound of wings is just, oh, so good. With a beer, oh god, yeah, that's what I'd look for. If the hotel bar has that, then I'm friggin' happy. My room could be absolute garbage as long as the wings are good. Next up, I did nothing wrong. They say, hey, Brian, my question to you is, do you believe I'm innocent? If not, what do you presume I did wrong? You would be incorrect, of course, because I have indeed never done a single thing wrong in my entire life. Thank you. Well, I don't believe you. Anybody who proclaims their innocence usually isn't, because they are trying to defend themselves before being accused. Ergo, you've done something wrong. And I think what you've done wrong is so egregious that every game collector here will turn on you the minute I reveal what you have done. Now, I want to give people time to prepare to sit down for this one. I did nothing wrong doesn't alphabetize his video game collection. He just leaves it all over the place. It's just, I don't know, Faxanadu is in front of Zelda, and it's just mind-blowingly unorganized. The international court has a warrant out for his arrest, and we have to bring him to justice, because you cannot, as a game collector, leave your games unalphabetized, you monster. That's what you did wrong. Alright, next up we have Blaine the Hoagie Man, who says, Brian, which 4 cities would you consider the Mount Rushmore of Canada or Canadian cities? And also, since you're Canadian, how many times a day do you fart on people? Well, farting on people is called a Canadian hello. We do it all the time. Basically, if you go to a business meeting, it's all ass and gas. 4 cities on the Mount Rushmore of Canada. Jesus. Well, first off, Mount Rushmore is American, so there is no Mount Rushmore of Canada. But I get the context. Let's see. Don't have a whole lot of cities here. What cities have I liked? I've lived around the country. Montreal is definitely on there. Toronto's on there. Vancouver, I haven't spent a lot of time in. I'd say Halifax could be on there too, but again, I went there when I was pretty young, and I don't really remember that much. So if I had to think, Ottawa's definitely not on the list. I live in Ottawa, and it's not as fun as, it should be, considering it's a nation's capital. There should be monuments and shit all over the place. There should be walking into monuments everywhere you go. Just not as loving ourselves as the Americans do. All right, let's go. Toronto's going to be on there because I'm a Maple Leafs fan. Plus, every time I've gone there, I've had nothing but a good time. I will put Edmonton on there, number 2, not because it's a great city, but basically the same reason. Plus, I got family there. So that's Edmonton, Alberta. Alberta's being a province, second from the left if you look at a map. And Toronto's not the capital of Canada as well. I should emphasize that. I'll throw Charlottetown in there for my buddy who loves PEI. That's coming up later in the questions. And I guess number 4 would be... what is number 4? Belleville, Ontario. It is a small city. It's where I kind of grew up, just like adjacent to where I grew up. It's the quote-unquote city we went to all the time. Small population, but it still counts. That's where I met some of the dudes that I have become really good friends with. I met them through the Remember the Game podcast Discord, and we got together there. So I'm going to call it that, because that's like a core memory, as my adulthood core memory. I was 40-something. Yeah, finally making fond memories at 40. Yeah. No, that's what I'm going to go with. So we got Charlottetown, Toronto, Belleville, and Edmonton. They're not all great cities, but you know what? It's the 4 I can think of. All right, next up we have Munchie. It says, Mr. Canada, if you were to design a video game for each of your co-hosts, what kind of game would they be, and what would they be about? Let's start with Joe. Joe's going to be a toilet simulator, and he's going to be the poop. Joe just gets flushed all the time. There is no reason for it. It is a 99-cent app on the Apple Store. Next up, let's do Sam. I think Sam's a good RTS. Sam, I don't know, so some of the games we've been playing, just haven't been hitting with Sam recently, so I think that he could use this nice StarCraft-type RTS game, and we'll just call it Craft Star, because I'm not going to reinvent the wheel. Basically, it would be Sam running around fighting aliens. click, point and click. He would build more Sams, as many as he could. I mean, Alan would play that in the heartbeat, I know that much. But yeah, that's what it is. And for Alan, I'm just going to, because he took the opposite stance on me on Final Fantasy VIII, he's going to be a driving simulator. That's going to be the game he gets to play. He hates racing games, and this is his punishment. You know what you did, Alan. Everybody knows what you did. So those are the games I'd make for them. I think it'd be fun. Actually, I really would like to do something like that. I'm currently trying to muddle through a Unreal course to learn the basic mechanics of different types of games, and it's getting fun because I'm actually starting to get to the point where I remember how to do the basics of it. So maybe one day I'll try to make those games. I'll make definitely the poop game. Check the Apple Store in a little while here. I'll see if I can't get that out soon. Next up, we got the big deal who says, you decide to replace your heavy-ass keyboard, you dick. You decide to replace your heavy-ass keyboard with a typewriter. Not just any typewriter, but an Underwood 5 with original carriage return. You're so excited that you're going to type every word, every word you know. What are the first 5? Bold of you to think I know 5 words. First 5 words, all play and no work. You can fill in the rest. Actually, that's pretty much, when I go keyboard, not keyboard shopping, I don't buy a lot of keyboards, but when I go to like an electronics store and they have keyboards there and you always type on them to see what it feels like, I always type that. I always type all work, no play makes Homer something something, and it's just basically how I feel the keyboard out. So that would probably be the first thing I write on a Underwood 5 with the original carriage return system. Ding! But, yeah, thanks for the heavy-ass keyboard comment, as if I'm not self-conscious enough about it. I can't afford to get... This is a really good keyboard, and now somebody mentioned it to me, or mentioned it, now I cannot not hear it. So, yeah, I don't know if you can hear me slapping the keyboard there. I was just hitting an arrow, and yeah, it's loud as fuck. Oh well, I love it. Anyways, it's heavy enough to I can swing and kill a small cat or a medium-sized child. Either way, we'll figure that out. Next up, we have Guy Who Does Things says, hello, Mr. Brian. Which Canadian province is the best, and why is it PEI? Well, funny thing about PEI is nobody hates PEI. Prince Edward Island is what it's called in its long form, and it is just a small island on the East Coast. Out of every little squabble we have over regions, like those regional squabbles, nobody sits there and goes, well, PEI sucks. No, everybody loves PEI. I don't think I've ever met a person who hasn't. It's just a very nice little island. It's small enough you could actually walk across it in a day, I believe it was. I'm not sure if it's like north to south or east to west. I can't remember. But it's not that big. Anyways, it's got that old-timey Canadian East Coastern feel to it and everything. So yeah, it's a great province. I wouldn't call it my favorite. Like, when I was in the military going all around Canada, I'm going to call Ontario my favorite province, not because we have great politicians or it's like the super great province, but just because it's the one I feel that is most likely or most like my home. As a kid who's moved around a lot, Ontario is kind of the one I really started to like, if that makes sense. But yeah, I put PEI close second. Next up, we got Blue Yoshi 94 who says, hey, Brian, give me a bonk title. This can be anything. You don't even have to know what a bonk is. I think that was like the Horny Jail meme or something to do with League of Legends. I'm not 100% sure what the bonk is, so... Or could it be with a bonk video game? I wonder. Now I'm curious. I'm going to end up looking that up later. But I'm going to follow your rules. I'm not even going to know what bonk is, like, technically. Your bonk title. Oh, that's a good one. Let's call you James Bonk. And you have to go around and say, my name is Bonk. James Bonk. And every time you do that, somebody hits you with the bonk paddle. Thank you very much, Mr. Bonk. And finally, we have Retro Salvage Games. Somebody who reached out to us, and we've been in discussions to help him launch his online retro video game store. So he's going to be launching a website called retrosalvagegames.com. I don't think it's live yet. I'll read the comment in a second. It probably says it in there. But yeah, we've been working with him here to try to, I guess, meet both our mutual interests of retro video games. So he says, Dear Mr. Captain, As the official retro video game store of Retrotopia, I would like to offer our listeners a forever 10% discount at my store. Here's the fun part. You get to choose a discount code. My only request is to keep it clean and family friendly. The website hasn't launched yet, but once it does, I will make sure that you know so you can tell to hang. I've never heard that term before. So what is Retrotopia's 10% discount code for retro salvage games? Alright, so I actually had a plan for this. I'm actually re-recording this now, so this is being snipped into the episode, which is going to cause a little bit of fuckery with my timing. But I was talking to Joe as we recorded a New Game Plus, and I brought this up to him, and I should have done this with the boys before, but I thought I had a great idea where I was going to put like a poll on the Patreon for which code you guys wanted to use, but Joe came up with the perfect code right away. So the code for RetroSalvageGames.com, or your Retrotopia discount, is going to be Jammy Dodger. And I'm going to send that to you, Retro Salvage Games, right away so you know what it is, and we will let you know when the website goes live. And that does it for the 9-Bit Banter Box. Thank you, everybody, as always, for writing in. I always love answering these questions. What a great crop of questions this week. I had to pull out the old thinking cap on some of them. And with that, it's time to pull the monkey paw out, reset it, and play Choose One, Lose One.
Ladies and gentlemen, roll up and choose your power-up from the game of the week. You pick a power, we pick a consequence. It's Choose One, Lose One, the game where everyone's a loser.
And coming in hot is Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, who says, I would love to receive 30 lives each time I press up, up, down, down, left, right, BA, start. You do get 30 lives every time you do that, but they're not your life, they're somebody else's life. So every time you lose your life, you start over as somebody else, and it's completely random. You don't know who it's going to be, you don't know where it's going to be. So you just kind of have to go through it and, live that life out. Jumping down the pit is not an option. You have to live the life. Next up, we have the big deal. He says, I would like a world where NES accessories are fully functional, responsive, and don't suck. I'm talking the Zapper Gun Power Glove and the Track and Field Power Pad. Okay. Yeah, I would love that too. Slap them all on, walk around like it's a fashion style. I'm not even kidding. I did that as a kid. I would go... Your Zapper Gun works, but it's always a light gun, so all it does is act like a flashlight. Every time you pull the trigger, it just puts a little light on somebody. The Power Glove counters the controller belt you have, because the Power Glove is basically a controller, so now you got two controllers fighting each other, and nothing you can do. It becomes annoying, and you can't take it off. And finally, the Track and Field Power Pad is the only way you're able to get around town, and if you're not running on those two dots, you can't move forward. God, I remember those. I remember they were so bad, we would sit on the ground and we'd put them on our lap and we'd tap the buttons because that was the only way we could do it. Running on them just sucked. All right. Munchie comes in and says, I want a game made around this show, like a cool retro-style game with multiple genres, but maybe with this SNES graphics. Well, you are asking too much. This game is charmingly NES, but you get your wish. You get a cool retro video game that is just basically all these NES game tropes done in Super Nintendo graphics to make you happy. However, it's not for sale. Only one copy's made, and it's held in Fort Knox because it is that valuable. So it's there. Nobody will ever see it. Fill Up My Mouth with Fart says, I want a princess to like me and want me to come to rescue them, to award me with a little kiss. Well, Fill Up My Mouth with Farts, you do have that princess, and she wants you to come rescue her, but her dad is really controlling, and you get put on a list, and you know what list I'm talking about. And now you can't come within 500 meters of that palace. Oh, God, I said meters. Good chance you're from America, so I think 50 feet. I don't know. I'm going to the internet. What is the standard, what's that called? Restraining order distance in the U.S. All right, let's look this up. It's about 100 yards. You get the standard restraining order of 100 yards. You have to always stay away from the princess. So you can go rescue her, but you will have to do it 100 yards away at all times. Otherwise, you're going to jail. Blue Yoshi says, I would like some cola jelly beans, please. Oh, boy, and his blob reference. If I remember correctly, the cola jelly beans created a bubble that helped you breathe underwater. Okay. Yeah. Comes at your butt and wraps around your head every time you use it to go underwater, so you're just basically smelling fart. That's the best I could come up with that one. I mean, you pulled deep, and I just went surface level butt joke. I'm sorry, but I'm trying to muddle here to think of something else, and I just can't. I'm laughing inside my head. Finally, we have Retro Salvage Games that says, I just want to live in Videoland. You can, but you're an NPC. You're an NPC in Mega Man's world. That way you get to list a Mega Great all the time. That's what you get. Thanks everybody for writing in on this one. Again, great ideas, and I feel like I flubbed the end there. I'm sorry about that, but I'm doing the best I can with what I have, and what I have is not that great. But speaking of great, let's talk about the gentleman himself, as he gives us the Gentleman's Interlude.
Well, Simon Belmont has arrived. Please try not to be overwhelmed by my incredible good looks. Being the greatest vampire hunter in Videoland isn't easy, but someone has to do it. Princess Lana says I'm full of myself. I prefer to say I'm simply aware of my many talents. Back before Captain N showed up, I was already a famous hero from Castlevania, defeating monsters and looking fabulous while doing it. Then, out of nowhere, Kevin Keene, a regular teenager from California, came flying through the ultimate warp zone with his dog and Zapper, and was named Captain N, leader of the N team. Naturally, I thought, surely they meant to choose me. But somehow the kid kept saving the day with his Zapper and quick thinking. So I decided to give him a chance. Besides, every great leader needs an even greater hero standing beside him. Our team included Princess Lana, Mega Man, and my feathered little friend Kit Icarus. Together we protected the Palace of Power from the biggest bunch of troublemakers Videoland had ever seen. Mother Brain never stopped shouting orders. King Hippo couldn't stop tripping over himself. Dr. Wily always had another ridiculous machine, and the Eggplant Wizard had an unhealthy obsession with turning people into vegetables. Honestly, I don't know how they expected to defeat a hero as dazzling as me. Every mission sent us to another Nintendo world. Whether it was the haunted land of Castlevania, the dangerous caverns of Metroid, the future cities of Mega Man, or the mythical skies of Kid Icarus. Monsters, robots, dragons, you name it, I looked magnificent while defeating it. Well, usually after Kevin came up with the plan. Now, I should mention that I wasn't always this charming. In the Castlevania games, I'm a serious vampire hunter who speaks very little and never wastes time posing. But in Captain N, the Game Master, I became the team's handsome comedian, always ready with a clever joke, a dramatic entrance, or a compliment for Princess Lana. I like to think the cartoon let everyone see my true star quality. Captain N, the Game Master first aired on NBC on September 9th, 1989, and ran till October 26th, 1991, for a total of 34 episodes over 3 seasons. The series was produced by Dick Animation City, with Nintendo of America. While Saban, oh, who cares? Productions co-produced the first season. The idea was inspired by Captain Nintendo, a concept created by Nintendo Power Magazine editor Randy Studdard, before it was developed into the television series. So remember this, my loyal admirers. Kevin Keene may have been Captain N, but whenever Simon Belmont appeared, the adventure instantly became more exciting, more heroic, and of course, much better looking. Now, if you'll excuse me, I think Princess Lana was about to compliment my hair again. Oh, this is the worst one I've ever fucking done. Enjoy.
Thank you very much, Alan. Another great job. And now, before we get into the actual game chat, we're going to let you have a chance to sound off about what you felt about this show. So first up, we have the big deal says, what a weird show this was. And it's a perfect representation of what a bunch of TV producers thought video games were and how disconnected they were from reality. As gloriously terrible as it was still awesome for the time and something I could see being actually done right today. And I have to mention that they did Mega Man so dirty on this show, as well as every Robot Master representation they tried. Yeah, Mega Man is just, hilarious. Munchie says, this was a super weird one that I didn't even realize was real when I was a kid. I think I saw one episode, but also vaguely remember having a comic about this show too. Not sure if it was real or not, though. Yes, a comic was real. And the comic actually added a character, Samus Aran, which made more sense for Mother Brain being the kind of main villain. But we get into that in the show. Blaine the Hoagie Man says, so in this episode, are we just talking about Brian? Well, yes, we actually explained why, or the origins of my online gaming handle, Captain N, and this is pretty much where it came from. Kind of a side story to it, but yes, it's very directly related to this show. So yeah, we always talk about Brian. I personally love Brian. Sexy. Guy Who Does Things says, I hated this show as a youth. Thank God Reboot came out shortly after and revolutionized video game animation. Yeah, Reboot was just awesome. I don't know how many people remember Reboot. I know it was like a built-in Canada YTV sort of show, and I don't know if it ever like broke the borders of Canada, but God, what a good show. The animation was so terrible. Instead of having them run all over the place, they always had these floating pads. That way they didn't have to move their legs, because the animation was still like computer animation. It was all computer graphics. And the animation back then was still in its infancy, and it took a lot of time to make a character move right. So yeah, they're pretty stiff. Great show. Ran for so many seasons and just got weird by the end. And finally, we wrap it up with Retro Salvage Games. It says, welcome to Videoland. I say this line way too much and probably enjoy the show way too much. Cheesy video game cartoons always win no matter how good or how bad. Well, you're correct, sir. And we're going to get into it now because thank you everyone who wrote in. It's always great to hear your thoughts. And of course, I'm going to put whatever I can find for music. I think the song I found is going to happen after I'm done talking, so I'm going to do that right away. So we are talking about Captain N the Game Master, developed by Dick Animation City. It ran from September 1989 to October 1991 over 3 seasons, and you can find the entire series on YouTube as we did. Thank you for listening, and we hope you enjoyed this show.
Late one night in the doctor's lab, circuits and wires were laid out on a slab. The wiring was crossed completely by chance, and suddenly the whole thing started to dance.
To the freak.
You'll catch on real fast.
To the freak.
You'll see it's a blast.
To the freak.
It's totally unique.
Everybody to the freak.
It's time to jump into the warp pipe and go back to the 90s because we're talking Captain N, as we already figured out from the intro. And joining me, of course, is my mega buddy, Alan, and of course, my friendicus, Sam. How are you guys?
I'm mega fine.
Oh god. Ugh. It's like Mega Man has a fucking trach ring in this.
He's a 2-pack a day bot.
He really is. Oh
Good.
man.
I am good.
I'm glad I'm that weird winged baby King Icarus. Great.
Well, one of you had to be.
Icarus.
Nobody's being Simon Belmont, though, because I'm Simon Belmont.
Oh,
Ooh, that was very good.
yeah.
Thank you, princess.
What a crew.
I'm useless.
Yeah, what a crew.
What a way to take beloved characters that have been done and portrayed so much better in the modern age and just turn them into caricatures of whatever they thought a video game should be.
Yeah.
Oh, but I love it.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
This represents an era where it was just the fucking Wild West for game canon.
Yes.
It's just like you could literally do whatever you wanted with characters because nobody gave a shit. And then, canon and stuff like that started coming in. It's just like, no, you have to just make characters to this exact schematic. And it's just like, no, sometimes it was just fun to have a completely inaccurate Simon Belmont running around being a twat.
Well, they needed
Johnny Bravo?
Yeah, he was very Johnny Bravo.
Yeah, this is basically like the template for Johnny Bravo to come in the future.
Yeah. This show decided it absolutely needed a horny launch pad. And just fucking rolled with it.
A horny launch pad? You mean like Launchpad from DuckTales?
What is it with...
Yeah.
What is it with this era
like
of cartoons? Yeah, what is it with this era of cartoons and always having to have somebody that inappropriately hits on the female character?
Yeah.
Like Kevin, like the main character this time, Kevin's not sitting there going, well, excuse me, princess. No, he's like a completely oblivious teenager and she's kind of fawning over him, but Belmont there is like just thirsty.
Oh my God, like the guy needs to go and handle his business. Just take it down a notch.
Oh, yeah. All right, so let's get into this. I know you guys don't have a history with this. I'm pretty sure you guys don't have a history with this, but this was a huge part of my viewing cycle when I was a kid. And this, I remember it with the Super Mario Super Show or Super Mario World. I can't remember which one. Maybe it was Super Mario Brothers 3. There were so many back then. But, this just happened to be one of those things I watched all the time, and I was young enough that I wanted to emulate Kevin Keene, or whatever his name is. I think it's Keene.
Yeah.
And I would take my zapper from my Nintendo, and of course I'd stuff it in my belt, and I'd wrap the controller around me and tied the cord up so that I had the belt controller, and I was the coolest kid on the block. All those people were beating me up because they were jealous.
I'm jealous. Genuinely, I am jealous because we never got this show over here. At least I don't think so. I mean, I remember the Super Mario Super Show.
Yeah.
And I don't remember, at least from my childhood, the Zelda show, although, I've since been introduced to that work of art. But my entire experience with Captain N was literally you, Brian. You are the original Captain N in my life. And which kind of made it weird watching this show because every time they said Captain N or, named the character Captain N, I was just like, that's just fucking Brian.
Yeah. And let me explain that in case you skipped the intro. I'm pretty sure one of the questions kind of glosses over that. But so when I joined Patreon, I needed to use a name, and it was a retro video game podcast that I had joined. It would remember the game. And I thought I'd be cute and clever because he talked about how much he likes Mega Man all the time, and this Mega Man is like one of the worst adaptations of the character. So I called myself Captain N's Mega Man.
I remember
the joke went right over his head. So I was just like, you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to go by Captain N from now on. It's a lot shorter to write, and then I've compressed it even further into the CAP with N with two little dashes on each side, and so it's become my online handle. That's just basically the origin story of how that happened. I used to use the username Brianamite before that. I thought that was cute and clever, but
that is good.
But it died out after Captain N became kind of my go-to.
Makes sense.
Captain N's Mega Man.
So yeah.
Ugh.
I do actually remember, now that you've said that, that's a flashback, because I remember you getting shout-outs and getting read with the name Captain N's Mega Man. That's wild.
Yeah. I still
back.
remember. I don't remember the episode. I just remember I made a comment, a little snarky comment, and Adam Blank came back with, anybody who likes Mega Man can't be all bad. I'm like, this guy just absolutely doesn't get the joke. So I'm like, I'm not going to press the issue.
Oh, poor Mega Man. Oh, poor Mega Man.
Oh, yeah. Maybe I'll see if he wants to watch the show and we can talk about it, and I'll just ruin his love of video games.
Do you know what? I don't know, though, because I don't think this show would. I don't think this show... This is such a it's that 90s style of just like completely bonkers but genuinely in love with video games kind of show, even if there are certain aspects of it where you're just like, I don't think you actually played the game you're talking about.
Absolutely.
But I'm sorry to spoil things so early, but I had a lot of fun watching this show. I didn't get through all of it, just to the start of series 2, but that's God.
That's the thing about this show. I do love watching it, but I can only take so much at a time. So I was watching maybe 2-3 episodes, and then I started speeding up the videos. At first it was like 1.25, and then it was 1.5. And today I was just trying to get through a couple of episodes, so I had 2 times the speed there, and I was like locked in watching it so I could understand what they were saying.
I tried that after you suggested that, and I'm like, how the hell do you understand what's going on? Because
I was doing nothing else. I was literally staring at a screen with my headphones on, and not a sound in the world was getting through, and I was locked in, buddy.
I could not understand a word.
If you're trying to do that and do something else, it's really tough. But
yeah. No, but well, let's I guess get into the basic overview of the series, and because people got to know what it's about. Obviously, the series is about the world of Nintendo Land. They call it Video Game Land, but it's Nintendo Land. But anyways, the series title character is Kevin Keene. He is a teenager who was brought from Earth to a universe known as Videoland, and it's where the video game characters are real in fulfillment of an ancient prophecy. He joins with others, which they call the End Team, to fight the forces of chaos, which is led by evil Mother Brain, and restore freedom to Videoland. And that is stolen from a wiki. That is not my ability to sum up a series.
Could have fooled me.
So, yeah. But I'm not going to take credit for that. I fucking can't speak that well. Me English is not that good, eh? But no. So yeah, pretty much. It's a very paper-thin plot that just lets them kind of do everything they want to do, because they have the freedom of going into every video game they want for some reason, which has always confused me how they were able to just jump. I understand the main character or the bad guy. Actually, holy crap, Simon Belmont is Konami property, Mega Man is Capcom.
Yeah.
Kid Icarus is Nintendo, so yeah, I don't know how they got the permission to do this, especially taking characters like Mega Man and turning him into that.
Right.
And Capcom's like, yeah,
they
that's
sign
super.
off on that.
Yeah, it's like no wonder we haven't had like a non-2D Mega Man game, do well, because we're just not doing it right. Obviously, they need this Mega Man.
I wonder if they had some sort of agreement in place where they had rights to the names but maybe not the likenesses, and so they had to just come up with something different. Or it's probably not even that deep. They probably just were create a cartoon about this newfangled video game bullshit, and that's what they came up with.
I wonder if it was so horribly inaccurate when it came to the worlds and stuff like that, simply so they could say that, look, it looks nothing like your video game.
I guess, yeah, kind of cover your ass.
I think this is kind of in the era when IPs weren't as guarded, perhaps, as they are today.
That's true.
You got to look at it like it's kind of free advertising. It's a kids show that's playing a sort of prime slot, and it's basically advertising. And bear in mind, these are all new IPs at this time. We're talking it's the first Castlevania, it's the first Mega Man, it's the first Metroid. And these stories and all of this lore hadn't really been established yet. I mean, if you play the original Castlevania game, there's nothing in that takes you beyond your generic B-movie kind of schlocky horror thing. You've got vampires, you've got mummies, you've got bats flying around. You could look at that and just think, well, that could be quite corny and B-movie like.
They don't say that Belmont is a complete Chad.
Exactly. There's nothing in there.
Yeah.
This guy just rolls up to Dracula's door and just starts walking down all of the denizens therein. It's just like, the guy's on a mission. It's just like,
that ain't a whip he's throwing around. That's his dick.
The one time Dracula
quite why the whip is sentient.
He looks so goofy. Oh my god.
Yeah, exactly. Dracula is so cheesy, and it just leans into that complete B-movie horror stereotype.
And I just like that they have some fun with it, you know?
You know, I like what you said about it being the Wild West times of, like, that late 80s was really, like, things were exploding, but also you really only have the first entry or two of a lot of these games. So you don't have this, like, established art style or, like, a, you know, like, you make like a Star Wars thing and you get this whole development Bible with all the canon and all that kind of stuff. Like, they didn't have anything established like that. So that's where you get, like, shows like this, Mario typing, Mario is missing, those frickin' Zelda games for the CDI, like, all that weird shit that happened, like, kind of the late 80s, early 90s was a result of just not having things really locked down yet.
But further to that, I mean, this was also the, like, prime time for kids and TV. Saturday morning cartoons was still, like, raging. Like, every station had their cartoon block, and, you know, it became, like, negotiations with your brother there. What are you going to watch, and when are you going to record on your brand spanking new VCR? Or Betamax, if you went that way. And I still remember these. Like, this is the golden time, because there wasn't the YouTubes or the cellular phones or all that stuff to distract you. If you wanted to watch a cartoon on a Saturday morning, and it was starting at 7 in the morning, well, you're getting up at fucking 6:55, Buster, and you're down there, and Mom's got the bowl of cereal, and you're just sitting in front of the TV, the Radiation King, and just getting a tan.
Yep.
The nostalgia there, just that made me feel some kind of way. And
I know.
I mean, what does, like, Nintendo, Konami, Capcom, what do they give a shit about whether or not it's, like, lore accurate? You know, the idea is just basically get these impressionable young minds thinking about the games. It's just, a kid's going to watch Captain N and be like, I want to play that Metroid game, or, oh, I like Mega Man. Mum, can I get this Mega Man game? Just like the guy that's on this cartoon. And, you know, that's all they really cared about at that point. Who cares that Metroid isn't a place, it's a creature, or that Simon Belmont, it just is not, that's not, no. But, you know, it's just, it didn't matter.
Well,
so
it also was, you know, kind of, you know, shows at the time. Like, you had your He-Mans and your G.I. Joes that were kind of made to sell toys.
Oh, yeah, and manly shows.
Well, those are the ones I watched. But, like, you know, I think the second season did much better with actually incorporating different games, like, very specific. You know, like, there was even a Faxanadu episode, like.
Yeah,
really
I mean, the first season
titles.
must have been a proof of concept, and when it became popular, more IP was willing to be like, yeah, go nuts.
Yeah. Mommy, I want Faxanadu. I saw it on the TV.
So I was kind of looking at a wiki today about this, and Captain N is actually based on a story that was put in Nintendo Power called Captain Nintendo, and it was a written story over a couple of issues, I believe, 1 or 2 issues, and it is so loosely based on that. But the guy, what was his name? I think it was Brett Randalls. Pitched this as a TV show for Captain N, and it was way off concept, because the original concept was Kevin spills coffee on Nintendo, which gives Mother Brain life, and it actually happens in the real world, not video game land. But then they all got twisted into what we got, which is obviously great. Somebody actually was thinking about this one, but
that's
just amazing how a simple idea like that could actually, like, evolve into this show idea that really gives kids everything they love, like Bayou Billy right off the bat, and like you said, Faxanadu, Zelda, and Link are in the episode, voiced by the same people too.
Oh,
except
really?
for less rapey. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
you didn't
cool.
get that?
I didn't get to that episode, admittedly. It's like series 2, so I didn't make it that far.
That episode was pretty cool. I like the crossover, because a lot of they didn't sound exactly the same, or they didn't have the same voice direction. I wonder if by that point the Zelda show was kind of, because there were only a few episodes of that. I wonder if they had called that one quits and were like, don't do what you did before.
Yeah. Let's bring the rapey vibes down.
We've already got one rampant predator in this show. Let's not add another one.
So, we don't need 2 of them.
Yeah.
So you know the Game Boy voice? That Game Boy voice?
I love that Game Boy.
In this one?
Yeah.
Well, that is Frank Welker, fame of Nibbler from Futurama.
Oh, that's amazing.
Oh,
Fred Jones. Yeah, Fred Jones from Scooby-Doo, and Megatron.
Oh,
Wow.
right on. That's so cool.
That's so cool.
He's a legend. Is he still
Oh,
around?
yeah, some of these... Who's that other legend, Alan? Who's the narrating legend in this narrating role?
Literally, the first time I watched it, I was just like, I know that voice. I know that narrator's voice. That is Doc fucking Harris of Dragon Ball Z. On the next episode of Dragon Ball Z.
When he's not...
And it's just like, yeah.
When he's not...
I know that.
When he's not playing it up like that, it kind of sounded to me like Adam West.
That would have been that also would have been a very, because Adam West would have believed it was just happening.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's just like this is a documentary. That would have been awesome.
Yeah, I don't remember that, but I was Batman. Fuck, Adam West was a legend.
Yeah.
The fact that he made fun of himself so well on not Futurama,
Family Guy.
Which one was it? Was it Family Guy? Yeah, Family Guy.
Yeah, Family
it's
Guy.
just amazing.
Mayor Adam West.
Yeah, sorry, I've been watching a lot of American Dad, and they do Sam Elliott.
Adam West. There you go. There's some music on
there's some noticeable names. Like, obviously, I'd name them out, but you wouldn't recognize them. But they've done some pretty big stuff.
The guy,
like,
I can't remember the name of the guy,
voices.
but Captain N himself, Kevin Keene. I'm pretty sure the voice actor of that was the same guy who did Ed out of Ed, Edd and Eddy.
Yes, it was.
Was it Eddie? I can't remember which one's which, but the little one.
One of the Eds.
Mousy little guy.
One of the Eds.
It's definitely one of them.
Yeah, definitely. Ian James Corlett did the voice of Goku in 1996 Dragon Ball.
Oh, really?
Like the first 37 episodes.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, this was the sort of thing that you do see a lot of these voice actors just cropping up in all sorts of things around the time because, I don't know, I guess there probably wasn't that big a pool of them back then.
I will say it is kind of a shame that we don't actually tend to learn the name of the voice actors in cartoons because we're kids, right?
Yeah, of course.
But, you look at their IMDb nowadays and you see these people and it's like, oh my God, he did the voice, and then it just keeps pooling and pooling and pooling. And
like,
some of these guys have done like hundreds of voiceovers.
These people are my childhood.
Exactly.
Speaking of childhood, that's...
I just like how Frank Welker is Freddy from Scooby-Doo, which is like a normal voice, but then everything else he's like... It's just like Nibbler or that Game Boy. Like, it's just like at some point he just started making goofy ass noises. They're like, all right, do that.
That being said, didn't Nibbler have that like one episode where he talked normally?
Oh, maybe is that the Nibbler he does where he's like, hello, I'm Nibbler. Like he's got... Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Oh, he's the whole thing. He's the whole thing of Nibbler.
Oh, is he?
He's
Really?
even
He
the...
does...
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God, the guy who does the voice for Kevin, Matt Hill, he played Raphael in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, Turtles in Time. Ugh.
Oh, that
bad movie
sucks. Oh my God.
Yeah, he was the one who was Ed in Ed, Edd and Eddy.
It was Ed, right? Okay, cool.
Oh yeah,
I love
these people.
I love the performances in this show. They are so over the top and so cheesy and just so brilliant. And
it sounds like they weren't recording in the same country, using wildly different equipment because it just sounds so forced sometimes.
Yeah, especially Mega Man. Oh my God, that was some bullshit.
Mega Super.
It's really. I can't even do it. It's just so.
It's so grating. It's just so bad. I hated it.
But no, what I was going to say about like your childhood and I mean, I can't remember who mentioned it. Sam, maybe. You had all of those really, really macho shows with these big, over-the-top, like, superheroes and shit like that. But what I love about this and what probably resonated the most with your, I don't know, 10-year-old Brian or whatever, is that this guy is just, he's you. Like, he is the kid who is watching the show. You're like, what kid didn't want to get just sucked into his video games and explore all of these worlds? And it's just like a normal kid, just like whoever's watching the show, going on these wild and wacky adventures. And that's like, that's really fucking cool.
Yeah. I think my favorite part of this literally was like, what world are they going into this week? And, you pop into a new video game world. It just, that was like, oh my God, I have that game.
Yeah.
And then the world looks nothing like the game, right?
Oh, right.
No. But then, it's the NES for the most part, and it's just...
Yeah, your
they
imagination had to power a lot of the graphics on that.
Exactly. So this is just what somebody's imagination made those worlds look like. And you know what? It didn't suck. I mean,
it's a bunch of Koreans drawing for, the American machine.
Yeah.
Was this done by Rough Draft? That Rough Draft studio?
I have no idea.
Because that's
I have no idea.
Yeah, that's the major Korean studio that did like Simpsons and Futurama and all that kind of stuff.
I don't know. Was it?
No, I was just making a joke.
I think it was produced by Dick.
But who was it made by? It was made in the United States, so I got that part right. Dick. It was Dick Animation.
Dick. I think that's probably what brought me back the most, because like I never watched it when it was out. I think I would catch reruns of like Super Mario Brothers Super Show when I was little, and by that time I don't think they had like the Zelda or the Captain N in syndication, so you would always see those like, catch up with what's going on in Zelda, and I was like, whoa, there's a Zelda show, there's like, there's this Captain N show, but I never checked them out. So this was kind of cool to go back to this one. I think this is, I don't know, again, spoiler for my thoughts, but I think this is the best of the three of those.
Yeah, I hard agree.
This one really brought me back to my childhood. Like, I found this online a long time ago. This and other shows like Reboot and stuff. You can find the entire series on YouTube nowadays, and every so often when I'm feeling nostalgic or I just want to show my kid what life was like back in the day, I'll sit down with them. We'll just watch them. We recently started watching Mask, that one where they put the helmets on, then their cars transform into stuff.
Mask.
Yeah, basically that is it. That one was great. The toys were so awesome because they were like half Transformers, half not.
Yeah.
I've not thought of that show in years, Brian. You've just unlocked something. I'm gonna have to look that shit up.
Go to YouTube and just look up 80s and 90s cartoon intros, and then you can get lost in that for a long time.
And nostalgia is a powerful drug, isn't it? And what you said there about this took you back to your childhood. Well, strangely enough, this show took me back to my childhood, and I'd never seen it. Because it is just so obviously a product of the late 80s, early 90s. Like, it feels like so many of those shows that I used to love back in the day. I can guarantee you, if I had watched this when I was a kid, like, this would have been one of my favorite shows, hands down. Like, I don't know, it just made me feel young again. And maybe that's deeper than it deserves, but it's just like, no, this was a wonderful time for cartoons.
Yeah, and it's a time where you can also overlook the many, many flaws that cartoons had back then, like the bad coloring and basically the robotic animations because it was too hard to animate somebody or too expensive to use a second cell or something like that. And it was the golden age of cartoons, in my opinion.
There are times when the animation is pretty smooth and then there's times where like characters have to dance, and there's always a time that characters have to dance, and that shit never looks good.
All right, speaking of the characters, let's get into those guys. Let's start with Kevin Keene, Captain N himself. He has two modes. He's in the real world, which is always seen in the title, and then of course he's in video game land with his iconic iconic orange Letterman jacket with the black end and the white sleeves. He's just an everybody. Like, he is absolutely no discernible character. He is the default character choice on any video game. Like, he is just literally designed to be neutral, in my opinion.
I don't know.
Like him, you don't hate him. Like, you like him in the sense that he's the hero of the show, but like, he's not somebody that's really anybody. Like, particularly targeted anybody. Just looks like the random kid.
Pretty generic, yeah.
I mean, he's got that sort of cocky, wisecracking kind of attitude that we all loved back then. He's kind of Marty McFly, that kind of archetype. Just like the young kid. He's not popular, but he's not like a complete nerd. He's just somewhere in the middle there, so he's pretty relatable by a vast group of people.
That's what I was saying. Like, he's literally just a neutral character that doesn't really like fit any real type. He's not
Sure.
he's not a jock, but he's not a jock. He's being bullied, but he's also a dick sometimes himself.
He's very endearing. He's very endearing, though.
So it's very relatable. It's very easy to relate to him. Next character, of course, is the queen or princess of video game land, because for some reason these women can never ascend to the queen status, because it's, you know, not Queen Peach, it's not Queen Zelda, and it's Princess Lana here, and she's just literally the every woman character. Literally the gender opposite to Kevin Keene.
I mean, yeah, she's pretty much Zelda from the series. And, you know, her dad is still alive, so that's probably why she can't ascend to queen. We need to...
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe that'd be a good one. I mean, technically, so is Princess Peach's dad, and if you watch the cartoon of Zelda, you know, old pimp daddy, Zelda's dad is there.
They don't ever do fuck all, but they're still there.
No.
They still exist.
Let's get into let's get into the ones we're talking about. Simon Belmont. Simon Belmont from the Castlevania fame there. He beat Dracula, and now he is thirsty for Princess Lana. Oh my god, what interesting take on Simon Belmont. Like, I don't hate it, and well, I do like it, actually. I'm not even going to say I don't like it. The way they portray this character, he's cocky, he is narcissistic, he sits there and embodies this idea of the Chad, and he loves himself. He always has a mirror to look at himself. He's always hitting on Princess Lana because somebody has to, even though Princess Lana's got eyes for Kevin. But that neither here nor there. Simon always says, you know, we don't need Captain N, I can do it myself. And then fails because he's the bumbling idiot of the show as well. Thoughts?
He was annoying. He's just really, really annoying.
But that's what they were going for him.
I guess.
They wanted somebody to be the person you hate.
I know, but as a
you don't hate
Castlevania
Kevin.
fan, like, I would have wanted a cool Simon Belmont. Like, I would have wanted to cool any of these characters. Like, I thought the side characters were just kind of like, I mean, Kid Icarus. If I had to rank them, I'd say Mega Man, Belmont, Kid Icarus is the lowest. They just,
yeah.
You see, and that's the thing. Like, I should have been pissed off by this adaptation of Simon Belmont because, you know, as you know, I'm a huge Castlevania fan. And at first I was just like, okay, I know Castlevania is a part of this series, and wait, that's Simon Belmont. Okay, that's definitely a choice. I mean, you know, he looks like some sort of adventurer from the 70s, much less an ancient sort of vampire hunter, but okay, the outfit's wrong, the hair's wrong, the attitude is wrong. There's nothing about this Simon Belmont that's right. And I kind of love it. Because you need that foil for Kevin. You need that sort of antagonistic kind of partner in the team that, you know, they butt heads, but, you know, they work together in the end. And it's just, I don't know.
You have to have that antithesis to the
absolutely
goodness of Kevin. Otherwise, this would be too sweet of a show.
And the competition for the affections of the princess, even though it's a very one-sided argument there. But, I mean, did it have to be Simon Belmont? No. You know, that literally could have been it could have been anything, really.
What other major character at the time do you think could fit that role?
Well, they didn't have any of the Contra guys, maybe because it would just have been guns, but, I mean, they didn't have... There was no Contra. Done. They really, like, they didn't have... It would have been cool to have, like, Samus.
Actually, Samus was in the comic.
Oh, really?
Like Captain N?
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
So Samus was removed for the TV show, but she's there.
Oh.
I was thinking that, like, we have Metroid, we have Mother Brain. Like, where is Samus in this? And then I stopped and thought, well, you know, if she was there, this whole thing would be over in, like, an episode.
But think about it. You have Eggplant Wizard, who is Kid Icarus's main boss. You have Dr. Wily there, who's Mega Man's main boss. And then you have Mother Brain, who is Samus's main boss, and then the two ones that don't fit are Simon Belmont and King Hippo.
I've got to be honest.
I actually find King Hippo is like one of the weirdest choices. Yeah, I'm just going to name off all the characters just so we can say we've done it. So there's Kevin the Princess Lana, Simon Belmont, Mega Man, Kid Icarus, Duke the Dog, and the Game Boy that make up the End Team. And the Forces of Chaos is Mother Brain, who's the leader, King Hippo, and Eggplant Wizard, and Dr. Wily. Those are the 3 bumbling idiot sidekicks, or side villains. So that way we have it all out there. Otherwise, I'm going one by one for no reason.
Yeah.
I've got to be honest. Talk about them all.
I had no idea who. I mean, King Hippo, I figured out pretty early on. Bear in mind, I've never played Punch Out.
Never played Punch Out.
Never played Punch Out.
Then you're not allowed to watch the show.
He's got the boxing gloves.
Well, imagine I figured out that he's from Punch Out. It took me so long. I was like, why in the fuck is there a sentient fucking eggplant wandering around? Like, what's his
Obviously,
story?
You don't know the legend of Kid Icarus.
I've never played Kid Icarus.
Yeah, I haven't played that either.
It's a fun game.
Is it?
Oh, it's a good game.
I tell you what, this series has hurt its chances. I'm not going to lie, because I liked a lot of the characters in this series. I liked Mega Man. I liked all the villains and all of that shit. Kid Icarus pissed me the fuck off.
Oh, yeah. Just the way he toxicus.
Yeah,
that's not even his name. It's like his name is Kid Icarus. Where is he getting? What? No, I don't understand. It's a weird speech impediment that has nothing to do with his name or anything, and it just, oh god, it was so overplayed.
I'll be honest, he has my least favorite design. I agree with Sam on his order of the characters, but Kid Icarus with like that, I don't know, like cartoony, like perfect face done on the body of a cherub there, like a fucking tiny little goddamn arrow shooting bitch. It doesn't look right.
No, I did not dig on that character.
Yeah, it bothers me too, because you look at him and it's like they're trying to make this kid sexy, and it's a kid, and it's like, no, don't do that. Just make him look like a normal kid. But I get the concept. They're turning him into the Valentine's Day version of what's the name of the Valentine? Is it Icarus the Valentine's?
He's a Cupid.
Cupid.
He was
that's
more
of
of a Cupid than an Icarus. Icarus is the boy that flew too close to the sun with his wax wings or whatever. Yeah. That's the myth, and this is just like a little cherub kid with a bow and arrow that says things stupid.
Yeah, and always has an arrow for every situation.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah, just like Hawkeye.
But yeah.
And Eggplant Wizard is one of the dumbest. Like, Eggplant Wizard is the worst enemy of Wart.
Oh yeah.
Well, from Super Mario Brothers 2, because he's all vegetable and Wart hates vegetables.
That's true.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
That's kind of why I thought they were kind of vegetables at first. Is like, are they trying to incorporate Super Mario 2? But one thing I meant to mention, and I don't know if this is completely off topic, but like as far as characters go, they really kind of steered away. They used some of the like kind of Mario Nintendo sounds, but they, unless I didn't see an episode with him in it, they steered clear of Mario and company.
Well, of course, Mario has his own show, right?
Well, I know, but they crossed over. I mean, they crossed over Link and Zelda. They just didn't have. Well, Mario doesn't pop in. He would have stole the show.
But the Link and Zelda one was it was done differently as well, and this show by season 2 was kind of lumped in with the Super Mario show block. So you had Super Mario World or Super Mario Brothers 3 first, and then this would come on after. So it'd be too much Mario.
That makes sense. Guess. They didn't want to double down on the plumber. Yeah, I can dig that. Plus, we have enough moving parts in this show as it is. All of these different characters, and there's an eggplant wizard, which is my new favorite name for anything now. And I'm confused. And what's going on?
Baby,
who are these
eggplant
guys?
Wizard?
Why is Mother Brain just like
a sassy black lady?
What is that voice is incredible. Like, much less the visual, because it's basically just a brain with this stretched out membrane of a face just swimming around in this tank. But she's so sassy.
Mother Brain was a choice.
Right?
Yeah, and I'm gonna So the actor who did that was Levi Stubbs.
Right. And
Levi, not Mrs. Levi, Levi.
Hats off, because like that guy just ate the scenery, gave that performance his all, and it's fucking brilliant. It's just like, so wow. Why did you decide any of that? I don't know, but I'm glad you did.
It caught me off guard first. I didn't remember Mother Brain's voice, but yeah, that the way that one went just completely just shocked me. Like, also Mother Brain in the context of this show is kind of a perfect like main villain, because she does need the underlings that to do her bidding, because she's just a giant brain in a jar. So I just don't like, well, I guess it's kind of a weird gripe, but I always hated the thing where the bad guy just seems to have like shower cams in the hero's entire base. And she like watches him like,
but that's
I know your plan.
That's a staple, isn't it? They've always got to have some way of figuring out what's going on. You know, that was just how we did back in the 90s. Everyone spied on everyone else, and we all monologued and were overheard by people, and hilarity ensued.
And Dr. Wily was just as bad as Mega Man, and Dr. Light was actually done fairly well.
They called him Dr.
Like
Wright.
when Dr. Light appeared.
I was going to say, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's Dr. Wright in this,
Did they call him Dr. Wright?
Yeah.
Was I not listening to that, or was I listening to it too fast?
No, it was Dr. Wright.
Maybe.
And I think there is in the original Mega Man games, there is a kind of, he goes by two names. It's either Light or Wright.
I think that is a known discrepancy there. I mean, speaking of fucking Wily, though, what in the hell was that?
It's officially Dr. Light in the English canon, but in the Japanese it translates to Dr. Wright.
Yep.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
That thing that Dr. Wily did every once in a while mid-sentence, like, I was always waiting for it to happen, and it always put me right off whenever he did it. He'd just be talking, and then all of a sudden you'd just be like, and then carry on talking, and I'm just like, I did not care for that sound at all. What was that?
Can we turn that off? I don't like that sound.
I don't care for that sound. I don't care for it.
I noticed that, but I think I blanked it out. I think my mind still has like protection from 90s cartoons where that stuff doesn't bother me as much.
It's just every time he was talking, I was just like, oh, it's going to happen. Oh, it's going to happen. Oh, there it is.
I love how he also has a German accent, so you know he's evil.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
German or British, you know, those are the two most evil accents.
We do German and Russian over on this side. British is usually the hero or the sex symbol.
Ah, well then. Happy to oblige.
It happens here too. You are the sex symbol.
Well, there you go. Yeah, I am the Simon Belmont. The Simon Belmont.
Oh, behave.
All right, in my entire list of notes here, I don't actually have anything after talking about the characters. So it's free. It's time to free talk about it now.
It's going to be one of those episodes where we're all over the place, isn't it? And it's just
This is
not our usual wheelhouse. So we don't have.
It's hard to do this unless we do it episodically, where we cover every show and talk about the nuances of inside the show. Because if we sit there and try to do what we used to do way back at the beginning of Retrotopia, where we tried to go through every level of Mega Man, it feels bloated. Do you remember that one, Sam?
The Mega Man 2 episode that was like 2.5 hours long. We're like, never again.
I don't know. Final Fantasy VIII crept up there. And we didn't even cover everything.
No.
Mega Man 2 does not have the same bulk of a story that Final Fantasy VIII pretends to have.
Hey, well, could I shout a few of my favorite moments or episodes or just kind of concepts about this? 'Cause
after I do mine, because it was the out of context clip I put in the Discord there where they had to get through a small warp hole there, and Eggplant Wizard shoots salad dressing all over King Hippo's body. Christ. And if you play it at the right time, you don't know what's going on, and then Fuck, what did he say?
He said something like, "I'll toss your salad," and I was like, "You gotta be kidding me!"
I'll toss
Fuck.
it. I was like, yeah, that was it. I was like, what the fuck?
There was another.
Grease him
man.
up and toss his salad. She's like, what's going on?
There was another clip that I sent you guys where it was like Zelda was like gonna pull out like, or not Zelda, the princess, whatever her name was, Princess Lana. She was like, "Here, I'll prove to you who I am," or whatever, and she was gonna pull out apparently like a photo or a mirror or something, and it looked like the way that the perspective of the shot looked like she was pulling up her shirt to like flash.
Oh yeah, so that's
See,
where
3 nipples.
Yeah.
yeah, so that's where Belmont has completely forgotten who he is, and they're trying to remind him who, because you've got to have an amnesia episode, of course.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's a trope.
But yeah,
Could you
she's
imagine
like,
if
this will remind you, and she just flashes him. I swear.
What would happen to Simon Belmont in this show if Princess Lana flashed him? He would just be like,
No.
he would just shut down. He wouldn't know what to do.
After all of that time, like, dude's been edging the entire series.
Yeah.
It would not be pretty.
No. I don't know, like, there's so many, like, little good moments. I think one of the moments I was kind of impressed with was when they went to the Mega Man level, and it almost felt like they were authentic to Mega Man 1. Like, they even had, like, that big stomping thing there, and then, you know, they die and they go back to the beginning. Like, if we die 5 more times, we're going to be out of lives. And then, yeah, then they it was funny, too, because Mega Man one-shots 5 out of the 6 bosses, and then when they find Dr. Wily, they get in there, and all of a sudden the bosses are invincible. It's like, they're super strong now. And it's like, what? It's like, you just literally one-shotted all, like, 5 out of 6 of them. And the 6th one, you got him with his own cutter. So, like, all of a sudden they're super powerful. It's like, fuck off. Take me right out of the story, man.
There's another moment later on.
Cut, man.
Just speaking of the Robot Masters, this season 2, they had like I had to look some of these games up, but the episode was themed around California games for the NES.
Oh yeah, I saw that one.
And then they end up playing football against the Robot Masters. That was cool. I was like, oh, here we go. Now we're starting to actually incorporate some stuff in more of a real way than, you know, it
That's
looked cool.
Though, isn't it?
Yeah, each of them had like a different design. Like, it just looked neat. It was more fun to watch once they started doing that.
But it's just like, you know, you choose California games of all things to represent in your show, and it's just like, how do you do that? It's just like, well, let's just make it Mega Man instead.
Yeah, it's like, well,
you
what
can
else do we
do
have?
only so much with California games. Like,
So why
they just
put it in
wanted
there?
the game concept.
Yeah,
I guess.
California games. What the fuck was
But
that?
It was a good game, though.
I do
Was it a good
like.
game?
I think I played that on the
Oh,
Master
yeah.
System.
Like, it was super fun. California games, like just all the little mini games you get to play over and over and over again.
It was like
Definitely worth it. It's like caveman games.
I could never figure out the surfing.
Yeah, neither could I.
no,
Nobody
there's
could.
surfing. There's half pipe skateboarding.
Well, now I don't feel as dumb. Oh yeah, I'm definitely going to pick that up because now you've reminded me. See if I can figure out how to play it after all these years. No,
It's like going back to Skate or Die.
Oh,
I used to be so good at Skate or Die, and then I stopped playing it for like 25 years, and I lost all my muscle memory.
yeah. See, that'll happen.
You know what? Let's do that. Let's wrap this up and talk about some of the games that were in the show. They should have done Metal Gear. Yeah. Fuck yeah,
God,
Kevin
get
has a
those
Snake in there with
gritty-
Solid Snake.
Yeah. Get
Oh my
those
God,
gritty
and there it
military
is.
games.
And there it is. Snake could have been the Simon Belmont character.
There we go.
Oh,
yeah.
can you imagine them turning Snake like, I'm a big badass secret agent, and then he's just like, oh, princess, I'll sneak myself into your room at night. And it's like,
Well,
No,
exactly.
he'd be like-
why the fuck not?
No, Solid Snake would be like, "Oh, princess, I'm gonna put out a cigarette on you." Like, it's just...
I know what box I want to hide in.
My snake is solid.
Oh man, fuck. They spent a lot of time going back to Donkey Kong's world, like at least 2 or 3 episodes on that.
Yeah, and he's
That's
like
true.
a giant.
was-
He's like a giant ape. He's not the Donkey Kong we know today, where he's just a big Donkey Kong little guy. It's a big donkey. It's like a big gorilla. But he's more like a King Kong gorilla,
which is kind of what it was in the original.
I guess.
The early games,
I guess
right at the top.
Yeah, if you think about it, there really wasn't a Donkey Kong game yet. It was not Donkey Kong Country. It was. Yeah, that's weird to think about.
That's. Do you know what got me? It's just very start of Series 2, when they get in contact with the king, and he's not going to come back from wherever he is for some reason, but he's going to send somebody along, and it turns out to be this Game Boy.
That's
awesome. I guess the new character for Series 2. Yeah, but do you know what got me? Nobody fucking knew what he was. Kevin Keene did not know what a Game Boy was, and I'm thinking, well, Game Boy came out.
Fucking pretender.
Yeah.
Well, it came out in 1989, around about the same time this show came out, so nobody knew what a Game Boy was. So it was just it made sense. I was just like, wow, there was a time when basically this show is advertising a Game Boy to the people who are watching it. And the kids watching it don't know what a Game Boy is either. And that's just so crazy to me.
Yeah, isn't that nuts? Just like Donkey Kong being kind of the big giant bad guy, they didn't know what a Game Boy was. That was some brand new tech. And then they even say the Game Boy is this super powerful computer or whatever. It's
It's
okay.
purely
9 bits.
It's purely an advert for the Game Boy. It's basically an ad. This whole show is basically just an ad for Nintendo.
Oh, yeah.
And it's no surprise, since it basically, as you said, stemmed from Nintendo Power. It's just, let's sell some games.
Every show, Super Mario World was advertisement for Super Mario World, but then again, this was the era of cartoons just being advertisement for toys. Transformers was built, or the show was built after the toys were. It was literally designed to sell toys. Like G.I. Joe, the same thing, and so it makes no surprise to me. Again, words hard. I'm not surprised that this show is just trying to plug video games and get you interested in them.
But this is it. I mean, it's a perfect platform for any, you're talking about those shows that are going to sell you the toys based on that one particular IP. This is genius in so much as you've now got this platform to just put any video game you want into it, and it will make sense. You can just create a whole bunch of new worlds, and they can just go off on these adventures, and anytime a new game comes out, well, just chuck it in Captain N, and we can advertise it that way. That's pretty clever.
I liked that they leaned in. It was much more enjoyable once they leaned into it, because then it was watching it now, obviously. Watching it then, you were watching it for a, what's the new game that they're going to talk about? Or not really talk about, but what's the game theme?
What world are they going to this week?
Yeah, what world are they going to?
Yeah.
For me, it's I know, I've heard of that game. That's kind of fun. Let's see what they do with this. There's a whole Tetris episode with all these block people that are they're driving around with a car with square wheels.
That was such a weird episode.
It was super weird.
There's the normal rounded face guy there trying to become a block. And
yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. They call.
I just remembered something. Oh my god! Do you remember the? Oh, yeah. Do you remember that episode where Mega Man wanted to become a real boy?
Yes.
It's the end of
his birthday
Series
one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the birthday one. Do you remember the scene where he had his face painted like a clown and how fucking nightmarish he looks?
Yes. Yeah.
Because they go
and he stares right at the screen there, and it just literally goes right through your soul.
Honestly, I was watching that on my lunch break at work, and I'm kind of half doing something, half watching that. And that was the moment that I looked up, because they're dicking around in the pleasure palace or what have you, and it's just it's one of the tests to get Mega Man. He wants to be a real boy, and I looked up at that particular moment, and I was just I was caught off guard. That was horrifying.
Yeah, you're like, oh shit.
And I'll tell you something else that pissed me off about that episode. They go through this whole thing to get Mega Man to be a real boy. Nothing changes.
No.
We're taking it on faith that he is now alive.
But you can feel his mega heartbeat.
Yeah, but why does he still sound like a fucking robot? I thought we were going to get rid of that voice.
Oh, that would have been great.
Right?
They wrote that whole episode because the voice actor is my throat's sore from doing that stupid thing.
It had to be. It had to be. That is just ridiculous.
And then they had Roll show up, but they called her Mega Girl.
Mega Girl. That was fun, though.
Sake.
I like Roll.
Brian, you've just done it again, you son of a bitch.
What did I do?
Well, I just opened up our chat, and he's fucking there again.
Yeah, I just gave you guys a picture of what Mega Man looked like with the clown makeup while staring at the screen through your soul.
God, yeah. It's so dumb.
So
It
horrible.
is, oh my god, it is just nightmarish.
Do you know what? I'm going to turn that into an emoji for our
Perfect.
Oh, there you go. I
Just
thought you were going to
because.
say you're going to take your pants off to it, but you do
Ew.
you.
They're already off. They're already off.
Yeah. All right. I don't really think we should drag this one out to be like a marathon episode, so I think it's time to get into the wrap up our thoughts. There is nothing to talk about sound wise, or it's a 90s cartoon. That's what it looks like. There you go for your graphics and your sound section. So
I did feel
well,
pretty nostalgic for some of the sounds, even if I hadn't
oh yeah,
even if I hadn't watched the show as a kid. Like some of just the, I don't know what it is about the sound, either quality or design, that was just like, yeah, I know exactly what era.
I tell you
I'm
what
in.
though, there was one
yeah, you
particular
could
bit
tell.
of music, that action music, whenever like there was a montage going on, that was way overplayed.
Oh yeah,
for my money.
they got
It's just,
like,
and I can hear it. I can hear it now. And it's just, I've heard it so many times over the last few days, and I could just do with never hearing it again in my life.
well, sometimes they actually licensed real music in some of the episodes, and I was just like, there was one episode with like a Michael Jackson song. I was like, what the hell? How'd they get Michael Jackson in this?
Now
It
that's
was,
interesting because
was it a Michael Jackson song, or was it like somebody doing their Michael Jackson?
It might have
song?
been a like stylistic knockoff, but it sounded enough
Yeah,
like
'cause
it that I was like, is it or is it not? I
There
can't
was
really tell.
one. Yeah, there was one that was like, it was like the Monster Mash. but
Yeah,
it
that
was
one. Yep.
kind of different.
Yeah.
Like they weren't saying it's a Monster Mash, but you could tell that that's where that song came from. Like there was no denying that they just like copy pasted and then erased a few words and rewrote the homework and handed it in.
It was, yeah, the music was super weird.
All right, so I'm gonna let Sam go first as he wants to wrap up his thoughts because Alan is making emojis right now and I don't want to bother him. So Sam, wrap it
Yeah,
up.
let Alan go. Oh God, you made it. Yes. You called it, what did you call it? Did it say, oh, never mind. I
Emoji
thought it said
22.
steal your soul. Anyways, yeah, we already talked about how we didn't watch this. Only Brian did. They only had it in Canada, apparently. Yeah, it's kind
It
of
was
weird.
on USA Network.
It's on USA. It's just kind of weird how sometimes these, there were so many cartoons in the 80s and 90s that are forgotten about or are in, I don't know that this one would necessarily be in public domain or whatever, but like there are so many just different shows that like everyone could have had everyone did have a slightly different childhood. Like we all hit the main beats, your Ninja Turtles, your G.I. Joe, the whatever, the X-Men, that kind of stuff. Like we all had certain shows in common, but then like everyone had these like weird shows like this that for whatever reason, like your local channel maybe picked up and ran in syndication for a few months and you just happened to catch them at the right time. And this was not one of them for me, but I always kind of knew about it because I had caught the Super Show, and it was always like, oh yeah, this weird Captain and Game Master thing that I wonder when that's on, and it was just never on. But yeah, it's fun to watch through. I think I said before, I think this is probably the most fun of the three, being Zelda, the Super Mario Super Show, and Captain N, because it takes a little bit more liberties with characters and is just kind of its own goofy ass thing. I liked how eventually they incorporated more of the games. I mean, this is going to sound surface level because we already talked about them, but the Tetris episode was goofy. The Zelda episode was kind of fun because it was a little bit more of a story like well, Link saved the day, but for whatever reason now we need Captain N to come do the same thing. And they had a little bit of a rivalry going. So they did fun stuff like that. It would have been cool at the time, like if you were watching this as it was coming out, to see what new game they were going to talk about that week or what the show was going to be about. Looking at it in retrospect, it's fun to, look back on it, and you probably have heard of all the games at this point, maybe played some of them, and then it's like, oh, that's a weird take on, whatever game of the week they were talking about, but it is what it is. Like these weird ass characters they came up with. Yeah, stuff like this doesn't hold up over time, but it's always fun to go back and just kind of think about it in the context of 1989 when this was coming out. There really weren't rules established for how characters were supposed to be drawn or portrayed or voiced or anything. It was just a really weird new time. So I don't know, if you have an opportunity to look this up on YouTube, all the episodes are there. Check out a couple. I wouldn't suggest just binge watching it, because I think your brain would melt. I can only take like a couple episodes at a time, I'll be honest. But yeah, no, it's fun. It'll give you a nostalgic charge, even if you never watched it. So I'd recommend it. I don't know. Are we giving this like a numeric score? I don't know.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, give it a score for the overall series, and then if we ever feel like starting a new podcast, we'll go episode by episode.
Oh my god. Could you imagine? I would I don't know. I'd give it like a 6 or 6.5. Like it's worth checking out a couple of them if you've never watched it before, but like certainly don't feel like you need to sit down and watch every episode.
All right, 6. Are you gonna go with the 6 or 6.5?
Oh,
I got to do it for the historians.
Oh, that's true. Do the 6.5.
6.5 from Sam. Allen, it's your turn to wrap it up.
I mean, I agree with a lot of what Sam has said, but it is nice to finally get the context behind our very own beloved Captain N, who is still, to my mind, the original and best. And this show is basically just stole your idea, Brian.
Yeah.
We've been all over the place, haven't we? If you've made it this far, God bless you, because it's difficult to talk about a show on a podcast like this without going into the nitty-gritty of individual episodes and things like this, and just keep it broad. But, I think we've just about held it together. I loved this show. And I'm really surprised, because when this was pitched, I was just like, I'm not sure about this one. Like, I don't really know what it's about, and, it's not on the surface of it necessarily connected to something that I necessarily have an affinity for. I didn't know that it was based around all of these different worlds and all of these different games. It just looked like, there was nothing in the characters there that looked like anything recognizable to me, which is perhaps unsurprising. But it did give me such a warm sense of nostalgia for that era of cartoons. And it is just a wonderful platform for showing off. It's just a fantastic playground for all of these different retro games. And as we've discussed, we are hampered by the fact that now every game, every series has to have basically homework. Like, there is lore, there are rules, there are things that you have to consider. It's kind of a curse these days that we can't just make things up in our own mind, which is a wonderful thing that we could do back in the 80s and 90s. Like, games were so simple and so basic back then that they were kind of whatever you wanted them to be. Yeah, maybe your Simon Belmont was a raging, horny Chad. Maybe your Mega Man sounded like that. Maybe your Kid Icarus did have that fantastic speech impediment. But you could use your imagination, and that's kind of what I love about this series, is that it just took so much artistic license with these IPs, and I can't hate it for that. Yeah, it's not my Simon Belmont, but you know what? This one's gonna live with me. Like, you know, I maybe next time I play Castlevania, I will just play with this guy in mind. Next time I play Metroid, maybe it does sound like Mother Brain from this series. You know, it's going to inject a little bit more fun when I go back to some of these old games. Like, the animation is a product of its time. You know, it is janky at times, but, you know, I kind of love that about it. Music was neither here nor there. I did love all of the little Nintendo sound effects that crop up every now and then. It just made it feel authentic. It's a romp. You know, we're a retro gaming podcast, and this is a show with a lot of love for retro gaming. So yeah, I agreed. Like, check it out. It's all there on YouTube. Go and find it. Watch a couple of episodes here and there. Maybe, you know, have a beer or two while you do it. And just, you know, if you're as old as us, it's going to take you back to a simpler time. And for that reason... Oh, fuck. I think I've talked myself up to an 8. Honestly, it is the best out of the shows that we've watched. And sorry?
All two of them?
All two of them. No, I would say it's better than the Super Mario Super Show as well. And that's maybe a hot take. It's maybe a hot take. But there's just so much variety here. And
like the cartoon part, not the live action part of Super Mario Super Show, right?
I mean, you can't really compete with the live action part of the
okay, good.
Live action Super Show is so great.
Of course. But I don't know, like,
which we should do that one next as our next show.
We should. It'd be embarrassing if I watch that now and then give it a higher score than this, because somebody will call me up on it.
I need a break from these shows for a second.
Oh yeah, it'll be a while.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to finish the rest of this series and take it at a slower pace now that I don't have to do it for a podcast, but good fun.
Excellent. All right, so I get to finish this off, and my favorite part about going last is you guys pretty much summed up everything I was going to say anyways. For me, 1989, when this came out, was the year we moved... where did we move from? I think we moved to Ontario. We moved from Manitoba to Ontario that year, because my dad was in the military, and we moved every couple of years. So it was that year of, I have to make new friends, and, you got to figure out their personalities, and they figure out yours, and, sniff each other's asses until you're friends, right? Like dogs. And I've always said, like, video games is the thing that really kind of kept me sane during those transitional months in the summer. And Captain N was kind of like the show version of those video games. So for me, it was very nostalgic to see this again, because I do remember watching it when I was young. I do remember getting up to go make sure I could catch the episode of Captain N. It was the one I always wanted to watch, and those banger of shows like Dragon Ball Z had not come to our shores at the time yet, and these type of really badly animated, definitely targeted towards kids shows were just what we needed, and that is like why I brought this show to you guys' attention. The whole Captain N thing, as my Discord name, is really not that related to this outside of the joke I mentioned at the beginning of the episode. So it just is kind of coincidence that I chose it. Otherwise I would have been going by that other one I mentioned, Brynamite, and that's what you'd have all known me as. Nevertheless, the show itself is campy. The characters are lame. The hero is kind of can do no wrong, can never get hurt. Even when he fails, he's still in a position of power. It is just perfect. It is awesome. And I love these types of shows. I love the way cartoons were done back in this era, and I think they're timeless personally, but I would actually sit and hear the argument how they're not, but for me, it's just because they became such a big part of my life, and the show's no different. I find it hilarious how they portrayed the characters, honestly. Like, Simon Belmont being that way just doesn't fit the dark, gritty style that Castlevania was going for. Kid Icarus being a Chad, like a little friggin' beautiful baby, and Cupid, like, doesn't fit that character who's literally in the game going in an upward direction. Obviously flying towards the sun, hint, hint. And what's the other one? Mega Man. I loved Mega Man till I saw this one. Then Mega Man I didn't love for a long time because as a kid you take it personally, and then, you know, now I just find it hilarious. I find it great how they took these licenses and just completely did whatever the hell they want, like no limits. I'm going to go with Alan on this one because I don't really have anything to say beyond what you guys have said, and I don't want to drag this out any longer, but I'm going to go with you, Alan. This is definitely an 8 out of 10 series, definitely something worth watching, and it's on YouTube. I recommend it. If you're curious, pop on YouTube and check it out. It's fun. That's what cartoons need to be.
Awesome. Awesomus Maximus.
That doesn't fit the show. You should have said Awesomicus.
No.
Sometimes he throws a Maximus in there, and
does he?
Yeah,
maybe
he
I
doesn't
missed
follow
that one.
any rules.
No.
I always catch that Icarus at the end of everything. That's why I must have missed a Maximus. All right, let's wrap it up. I think it's a good time to end this. So I just want to thank everybody for listening to this episode. It means a lot. You're currently listening to the, as of today, 46th best retro video game podcast in Brazil. And with that note, that's how I'm going to sign off. So until next time, check out all of our other shows at patreon.com/Retrotopia. And we'll see you next week.